We're playing a level from Baron of Shell called Bullet Shell. It's not super obvious, but these shells that are flying behind me are actually bullet bills. They're just reskinned to look like shells. We've been carrying this spring for a while, and it's for that spring jump. These are a pretty uncommon move in SMW ROM hacks. Now at this point the bullet has gotten pretty far ahead of me, and eventually I'm going to bounce off of it, so I need to run to the right as fast as I can. This is a double bounce shell, so I get one off the throw, and it meets me in the air for the second one. Okay, alright, we'll take it. We need to be climbing really fast in this second half. I'm doing 2 back-to-back key jumps here. Those are frame-perfect tricks. And my goal with these jumps is to spend as little time in the air as possible, just because the sooner I land, the sooner I can jump again. Now with this shell, I must hit the block on the left side for my shell jump. That puts the shell in front of the Koopa, who kicks it underneath me. And I'm not going to have much time to get in the door. The floor will start to disappear. Yes! Welcome to week 207 of the Super Mario World ROM hacks. Today's level is Mount Goon by Fire 150. This level makes use of a lot of Goonies from Yoshi's Island. I needed to keep all 3 of these running Goonies alive to get under the plant, hit the turn block, and go through. I can stand safely on top of the rolling Goonie. This one's going to be my partner through the rest of the level. Hitting that P-switch starts a timer. We need to be as fast as we possibly can for the rolling Goonie to be able to get to the end. We need him to get in the pipe. Each of the running Goonies can run one. That's low. So I need to get all of them out of the way so we can keep going. In the pipe. I wasn't able to participate in this race live. My time after the fact was 15 minutes and 22 seconds. That would have put me in 7th place, and there were 18 racers who finished. This is Tall Tall Peak, a level from Grand Poo World 3. Here, Mario has the ability to climb and wall jump off of walls. This is especially useful to get this throw block up to the top to hit the turn block to go through. As Mario is clinging to the wall, there's a bar that shows up behind him showing how much stamina he has left. If that were to empty out, he would just start sliding down the wall until he hits the bottom. I started that platform moving to the left, and I need to catch it as it's falling to be able to reach the wall. This obstacle right here is what we call a slope muncher. You can't just run underneath it, you have to slide under. Now we also have some red nets up here. They're deadly if you touch them, so we need to use this vertical platform to get around them. Now we're about halfway up a very tall mountain, so there's some traditional mountain enemies for us to avoid, like a fish. This chuck here is 3 obstacles at once. We force him to jump first so we can go underneath, bounce off of him to go over, and then one more time to go across. We're gonna have to do a shell jump here because we don't have wall or floor close enough for us to use. And then we have to let this saw out to get over to the left. We have to go underneath it and then use it to get up on top of the wall. Here comes the last trick of the level. We have to ride this Cisco shell over to the right, and then time it so we can spin through it and the other shells. Every time I hit an on-off switch, it switches the... Okay, so... things were looking pretty bad. I'm trying to see if it's because of it having to decode the video that was playing. It doesn't look like it because it's still pretty bad. The game itself is terrible right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn everything off, restart my computer, and try to turn it back on, because I've got some other stuff that's also slowing down that I think is probably the cause of this. So we're just going to stop everything and come back, you know, 5-10 minutes.